When do you want to die? If the African baobab tree can live up to 6,000 years, how about a conscious human? Pelagians believed that to die at the age of 70 years was almost tantamount to dying in the cradle. Precious than money, this perhaps is one of the greatest gifts to follow into a healthy, happy life on earth. Measure with a raw diet, less stress, and long laughs. Ha 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 ha! When do you want to die? Perhaps you have never asked such a question. Yet this is very critical in hot pursuit of a healthy longevity. Pastors, imams, rabbis, religious folks, social groups, current thinkers, psychologists, and politicians rarely encourage us or allow us to ponder on this issue this way. The teachings are based on after death, rarely on how long we must live, or how long we desire to live, or how long we need to live. How long would you wish to be alive on the earth? How could you live that long? What are the advantages of a long life, happy life? And these are critical questions that we must ask. Do you know we are endowed with a limited amount of physical life energy from birth until the day we die? The faster we spend it, the earlier we will be on our death row, barring of course accidents and other misfortunes. We start very young with that quantity of energy. Then it's either we grab our 120-year lifespan and live and die at an old age, or we die faster and quicker than we ever arrived. Some avoidable causes for short lives are physiological determinants, excessive activities, extreme sports, genetic determinants, exacerbated by wrong foods and drinks, mutations, biological causes like sickness, illnesses, wars, and other things, stress and killer hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, as well as mental surrender. Causes of death. Death can occur at any point in our lifespan, right? Prenatal death, miscarriage, during birth or process, or soon after birth, or birth defects. Infants and other diseases that cause infants' death. Childhood years, illness or accidents. Adolescence and young adulthood deaths resulting from suicide, homicide, motor accidents, or even being sent to war or being murdered. Middle age and older adults, death is usually from chronic diseases and illnesses. African ancestors ate more raw foods. Herodotus tells us that the ancient Egyptians, who are Africans, subsisted on raw fruits and vegetables which they ate raw. Plinius confirms this statement. This is called sweet reeds. Ipka imfe. These are watermelons. This is what they used to eat. This is our food. When I go back, says Higgins, and the author of Anacalypsis 2, page 147, to the most remote periods of antiquity which it is possible to penetrate, I find clear and positive evidence of several facts. First, no animal food was eaten. No animals were sacrificed. So, vegan. Herodotus also, we go back to him, said the oldest inhabitants of Greece, original Greeks, the Pelagians, their diet was of dates and oranges, lived an average of more than 200 years. You can see them here, the Negros from ancient Egypt. These are the original Greeks who founded the Greek islands from ancient Africa. You can see these are coins with Negro heads. The name Pelagians was used by ancient Greek writers to refer to a population that preceded the white Hellenes in Greece. The Pelagians were described as dolichocephalic, long-headed people who were short, black, dark-haired, and dark-eyed. You find this in Celtic myth and legends by Charles Esquire, London, the Gresham Publishing Company. Dolichophysicism is a characteristic of the black race. They spoke a non-Indo-European language. Herodotus said the oldest inhabitants of Greece, the Peloponnesians, were the Pelagians, who came before the Dorian, Ionian, Ilonian migrations inhabited Arcadia and Thessaly, possessing the islands Lesbos and Lokemantos, which were full of orange groves. The people with their diet of dates and oranges lived an average of more than 200 years. These are the Pelasgians. And this is the place where they lived. You can find this from Wikipedia. In hot pursuit of health longevity, why do pastors not tell us about longevity? It's because they want to emphasize areas of fear. They don't want to emphasize areas of happiness, of freedom, and of what we can do and possibly what we can achieve. This is an ancient African from ancient Ethiopia. 80% of longevity is dependent on environmental factors, especially what we eat. 20% comes from the genotype. What you eat feeds your genes. When you eat phytochemicals from raw foods, you can turn on the anti-stress, anti-aging, and anti-inflammatory genes. Resveratrol, a phytochemical found in red fruits like grapes and vegetable, is especially effective in turning on the anti-aging genes. The aloe vera plant was highly revered by Africans as well as other Asian cultures. These are the grains that we should eat. Nyemba, nyimo, wheat. That's what we should all consume to live long. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. Genesis 6:3. This is very critical, very interesting. Human longevity facts. Around 1975 to 1980, some geneticists concluded that human beings could live to a maximum of 120 years of age. They had found that shortly before reaching 120 years, the process that causes cells to reproduce begins to stall and eventually stops. Cellular life then ceases, and then it was followed by the death of the physical body. The state of physiological maturity would have been attained. Today, scientists tell us they have discovered the cause why this cell division process holds around the age of 120 years. It is caused by what they call telomeres, which we are showing here. This, they believe, is the key to human life. Telomeres are repeating DNA strings which are found at capping the chromosomes. Each time a cell divides, telomeres become shorter. When they reach a preset length, the cell ceases to divide, ages, and dies. For mortal humankind, about 3,000 years ago, the Torah had stated it already, as we have already shown. So that's what we have to understand. Set your life goal to live longer, healthier, happier life. Over 120 years. How can you do that? By controlling your diet, which will not eat off all these telomeres, by minimum exercises, by a mental state that tells you should live longer, being sharp, read more of non-fiction, by thinking in pictographic style like our ancient ancestors, hieroglyphically. Learn a new language or a new skill every 7 years of your life. Use your brain, imaginative thinking. Speak to yourself regularly. Encourage yourself. See yourself in the image and picture of an old, active, well-to-do person. Eat raw foods. More of raw foods. 70% of your diet must constitute raw foods. Drink a lot of clean, non-chlorinated water. Go to the toilet twice or more a day. Sleep deeply and longer, and never rise up too early. Enjoy your sleep. This is how you can live a long, happy life. Of course, with all the other things like praying, fasting, studying, and talking to your Creator, talking to your Father, awakening your ancestors, and pushing yourself, and having a good, positive approach to everything. We can do it. We can live for 120 years plus in a healthy life, not in old people's home. This is our desire. So thank you very much. When you depart from the earth and as they put you in this casket, you must be able to say, to die peacefully, and to know that I am going now. And you must be able to say, thank you, I have lived my 120-year lifespan on earth. Do not forget to always eat colored fruits with a lot of transvestral. Salani kahle. This is priest teacher Rabbi Ellen Dumizulu of Life Spirit of Amen Hamiti Hebrew Ethics. Time to rebuild, time to live, to desire to live for over 120 years, healthy, with no disease, with no fear, with no stress. Join us today and subscribe to our channel as we continue to share these life-altering thoughts. Let's share them. Let's give to each other the power and the force to live longer. Thank you. Goodbye.